They told them that if they convict me, this is what happens. You can see it. They don't want the truth to come out. Nobody wants the truth to come out. Nobody wants the truth to come out of it. In a corrupt society, that's what happens. They are very, very corrupt. There is a breach of judicial oath. They have violated the judicial oath. They have shown bias according to Supreme Court. They are biased against me. Supreme Court said so. And that is why what is happening in the judgments and rulings concerning me has been happening. So, disobedience to superior court orders. Supreme Court said you are biased. You are against this man. You should not have revoked his bail. Nigeria went to Kenya and kidnapped him.
So today, the big story shaking the country again is about Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, who is still facing his terrorism trial in Abuja. The court has now warned him seriously that if he doesn't open his defense, the court will go ahead and close it completely. In simple words, the judge is saying, you've delayed enough, it's time to speak or lose your chance. That's exactly what's happening now. And it's creating a lot of buzz across the country. Please, if you're watching this right now, take 1 second to like this video and subscribe. It helps a lot so more people can see updates like these. Now, this whole issue started again when the court sat recently and noticed that Kanu had still not opened his defense. Remember, the prosecution, which is the government side, has already closed its case. They said they've presented all the witnesses, all the evidence, and they're done. But for Kanu's side, he has not started his defense since the court told him to. He's been saying that the charges against him are not valid, that there's no proper law backing the terrorism charges. So instead of opening his defense, he keeps arguing that there's no real case to answer. The judge, Justice James Omotosho, told him in clear terms that the court cannot keep waiting forever. The court gave him another chance till November 5th to either start his defense or lose that opportunity completely. So the tension right now is real because if he doesn't act, the court may move straight to judgment without hearing anything more from him. Guys, if you're following this gist and you're enjoying the way I'm breaking it down, don't forget to hit the like button right now and subscribe. Let's keep moving. Now, let's go deeper. What Kanu is saying is that the government has no legal base to even charge him with terrorism. He keeps repeating that there's no extant law, meaning there's no active or valid law that fits his situation. He believes he has done nothing that qualifies as terrorism and that the whole case should have been dropped a long time ago. That's why he keeps refusing to open his defense. He says it's not about delay, it's about principle. But the court doesn't want to hear that anymore because the case has dragged on for too long. The prosecution, on the other hand, is saying that Kanu is just trying to waste the court's time. They say his documents are not properly filed and that he's just avoiding trial. They want the court to go ahead and close the case so that judgment can come quickly. And the judge seems to be agreeing because he's tired of the back and forth. He has made it clear that this is the last warning. Now, this situation is not just about Kanu alone, it's about what it represents. It's about how Nigeria handles cases that involve both politics and national security. Because for many people, this case is not just a legal one, it's emotional, it's political, it's historical. Remember, Kanu is not an ordinary person in the eyes of his supporters. Many people in the Southeast see him as a symbol of self-determination and fairness. They believe he's being treated unfairly, that the government is using the system to silence him. If you've been watching this gist and following the story, please like this video and subscribe so you don't miss the next update. Trust me, things are getting hotter. Now, looking at the bigger picture, this trial has gone on for years. It started back in 2015 when Kanu was first arrested. Then he got bail. Then later re-arrested again after being brought back from Kenya. Since then, it's been one court date after another, one delay after another. The government says it's about enforcing the law, while Kanu's people say it's persecution. That's why every single hearing becomes news, because people want to see how it will end. During the last court session, people were expecting that maybe Kanu would start calling witnesses or presenting his defense, but he refused. He said there's no point defending a case that shouldn't even exist, and that made the judge very upset. The judge said, "You are not a lawyer, but if you want to represent yourself, fine, but you must follow the rules." The judge even told him to consult a lawyer if he needed to. But still, Kanu insisted on standing his ground. So right now, the question everyone is asking is simple. Will he finally open his defense on November 5th or not? If he doesn't, then the court might go ahead to rule based on what the prosecution has already presented. That's risky because without defense, it's like going into a fight with one hand tied. Remember to like this video, guys, and subscribe right now so you don't miss the follow-up after the November 5th court session. Many Nigerians are divided on this matter. Some say the court is right, that no one is above the law, and that the case must move forward. Others say the government is too hard on Kanu, that he's being punished for speaking out. But whatever your view, one thing is clear. This case will shape how future political or security trials are handled in this country. Let's also look at what's happening outside the courtroom. Each time Kanu appears in court, you'll see tight security everywhere. Soldiers, police, DSS, all on standby. Supporters gather outside chanting for his freedom, even though the court always warns them to stay peaceful. It shows how emotional and sensitive this matter has become. Now, as a viewer, I want you to think about something. If Kanu doesn't open his defense and the court gives judgment against him, what happens next? Will there be an appeal? Will his supporters react? Or will the matter finally rest? It's a big question that only time will answer. If you're still watching, kindly give this video a thumbs up right now. Your like and subscription means a lot. From what we've seen so far, the judge has tried to be patient. He's given enough time, enough warnings. But patience has limits. The court wants to show that justice must move, whether slowly or fast. At the same time, the world is watching to see if Kanu is given a fair chance to defend himself. Because fairness is the soul of justice. Even if you don't agree with someone, they deserve a fair hearing. In this situation, the next court date is very important. If Kanu opens his defense, things will move to the next stage. Maybe witnesses, cross-examination, and eventually judgment. But if he doesn't, the door might close completely and the court will go ahead without him. And let's be honest, the outcome of this case will have big effects. For his supporters, they want his release. They say he's innocent. For the government, they want to show that no one should threaten the peace or unity of the country. Both sides are standing firm. And that's why this story has lasted this long. Please, if you haven't liked this video yet, do it now and subscribe so you'll get updates as soon as we drop the next gist. Another important part to think about is how this trial affects Nigeria's image globally. International observers are watching to see how the judiciary handles sensitive cases. If it's done properly, it shows maturity and rule of law. But if it looks rushed or unfair, it can raise questions. So it's not just a local stories, it's also about how the world sees us. Now, if you think about it, both sides have pressure. Kanu is under pressure to prove his innocence and not lose his legal rights. The government is under pressure to show that justice is not selective. The court is under pressure to balance fairness with efficiency, and Nigerians are watching expecting truth and justice. So as we wait for the next court date, one thing is sure, this case is far from over. It's a test of patience, a test of justice, and a test of how strong our system really is. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe right now. We'll bring you full updates when the next court decision drops.